Okay. Can you see me, hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. We're good. You can start, Arvi. I'm right here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. How many kids do you have so far?
We have a good number of participants. So, hello everyone. Good afternoon. A very warm welcome to all of you. Hi, I'm Arohi Tyagi, Associate Dean here at AAFT Online. And on behalf of the entire AAFT Online family, I welcome you all to this super exciting webinar. And today we have with us Mr. Dhruv Dhalla, who is an acclaimed Indian music composer and producer known for his distinctive storytelling through sound across films, web series, and television. With a strong foundation in contemporary and cinematic music, he has composed memorable scores for acclaimed OTT and broadcast projects. Dhruv is recognized for seamlessly blending traditional Indian elements with modern soundscapes, creating emotionally resonant compositions. His work reflects technical finesse, narrative sensitivity, and a deep understanding of music's role in visual storytelling. So, without further ado, let me welcome Mr. Dhruv here. Hi, Dhruv. How are you doing?
Hi, Arohi. Thank you so much for this warm welcome. I'm very happy and excited to be here.
Great. And so are we to have you here with us, Dhruv. So before we move further, I'll take you all, to a little thing wherein I have a few works of Dhruv here with me. The films wherein, he's given his music. You can see this speaks a lot about what he has worked with and the place he is in now. Right. So, Dhruv, to begin with, the first question is that how did you decide that you wanted to become a music producer, composer, and enter into this field?
Okay, so Arohi, I'll give you a little synopsis, a little gist of my journey. I am from Delhi. I was born, brought up in Delhi. I belong to a business family. My grandfather, my father, we used to manufacture car radiators in Okhla. So at the age of 4, my dad got me a small keyboard, pencil box keyboard, which was a gift to me, and it just became my best friend, and I started playing on it all the time. Just made me very happy as a kid. And then I realized that my fascination for keyboards just grew with my age, and I only used to ask for my father for a bigger, better music keyboard. And every birthday, I didn't care about the cake, I didn't care about the party, I just wanted a better keyboard. And then I became a keyboard player for the school band. I was in Mount St. Mary's in Delhi, Kent. And we have a lot of talented people who have come out of that school. We have KK, the singer, who unfortunately passed away, my favorite singer. He's from Mount St. Mary's. And I, at that time, wanted a Korg workstation. It is KORG. It's a Japanese keyboard manufacturer. And my dad made me wait 5 years, 4 years for that keyboard. And at that time, I'm talking about 1995. I think nobody had it in India, and it used to be used by legends like Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones, and I just wanted it. It had a built-in sampler, it had a built-in sequencer, so I just wanted to use that and understand if I can compose my own music. Then, in college, in class 12th, I was playing for a music competition, and Palash Sen from Euphoria was the judge. And he took my number down and he said, call me when you're out of school and we'll see what we can do together. And at that time, Euphoria had a very big hit in 98, I remember, 97, 98, called Dhum Pichak. And from Dhum Pichak, they were writing Mairi. And then I became the keyboard player for Euphoria. And then I realized that, okay, this is what I really want to do. It's making me happy. I'm making good pocket money as a 17, 18-year-old. I'm playing with the best band in the country at that time. And then I wanted to study music. I wanted to understand how music is made. I wanted to understand what makes songs memorable. कुछ गाने क्यों अच्छे लगते हैं, कुछ गाने क्यों भूल जाते हैं, कुछ गाने याद क्यों रह जाते हैं, लिरिक्स हैं, मेलोडी है, क्या
Mm.
जादू है.
Right.
So then I wanted to study music, and I told my father, and he said, "Okay, I understand that you're serious about this, so do what you want to do." It was a big deal. उस time पे नहीं लगा, but I'll tell you something. For my father to say yes to that decision, coming from a business family, the only son, it was a very, very bold move from my dad's side. No, I don't think a lot of people. I know I meet a lot of people in my life who say हमको ये करना था, but कर नहीं पाए. I am very fortunate that my father saw through that passion. Now, imagine, Karo, you have a 18-year-old kid who's telling you that he wants to pursue music 30 years ago. And even today, people say, यार कोई career है, कोई future है, क्या करेगा, कैसे करेगा?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I can hats off to my dad. He's not alive anymore, but because of his bold decisions or his faith in me, he sent me to America. I learned Western composition there. I understood how music is made. I understood the three major fundamentals of music, which is melody, rhythm, and harmony. We used to have classes on scales. We used to have classes on composition. We used to have classes on motifs. See, a motif is something which is the hook of a song. It could be the chorus, or it could be an instrumental phrase. Like Rahman uses a lot of hooks. That's why the song sticks. Like,
Mm.
like for example, that song from Satya.
Mm. Mm.
That's a hook. That's a
Yeah.
motif.
Yeah.
So these are elements that I learned in the US, that these are motifs which stick with people. और वो याद रह जाते हैं. Unfortunately, I couldn't finish my course. My mother fell sick. She was terminally ill. I was
Oh.
22 years old, and I came back to India. It's not been an easy ride for me, I can tell you that.
Mm.
It looks cozy from the outside, but it's not. You have to pay the price almost every day for your choices. And my mom was terminally ill, and the doctors had given up. We didn't have any hope for her survival. But at the same time, I met the director for Khosla Ka Ghosla, who was shooting the film in Delhi at the time. And Dibakar Banerjee. And he said, आपने बॉलीवुड में कोई काम किया है? I said, नहीं सर. आपने कोई और कमर्शियल काम किया है? ऐसे नहीं सर, मैं अभी आया हूँ पढ़ के. Then he says, आपने आपको राग्स आते हैं? मैंने कहा नहीं सर, मेरे को वेस्टर्न म्यूजिक आता है. So I thought that was the end of the interview. But then a couple of months later, he called me back. He says, listen, I want to meet you. I want a Punjabi song from you. But I said, sir, I all the questions that you asked me, the answer was no. That I really have no experience with cinema. I don't have experience with Bollywood. He says, yes, I understand. But तेरे पास एक चीज है कि तू unabashed दिल्ली का लड़का है. So, I don't know if that was a compliment
Mm.
or if that was, what he observed as a director. He says, तू
Yeah.
कर लेगा. तेरे अंदर दिल्ली
Yeah.
का attitude है, तू कर लेगा. And just like that, I had no experience. And let me tell you that sometimes no experience is the best experience, because what you come up with, nobody else has heard, and nobody else can think of, because you have no reference point to life.
Mm. Mm.
So
Mm.
you're just being innocent. You're just trying to do something, and it clicked. मैंने तो अपने कमरे में उस टाइम मेरे पास ना स्टूडियो था, ना मेरे पास कंप्यूटर्स थे, मेरे पास एक कीबोर्ड था. उस कीबोर्ड पे मैंने वो गाना बना दिया. That ta 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 tara tara ta 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 tara ta 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 tara ta 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 ta. And आप all of us are from Delhi. Most of us, आपको याद होएगा कि हाँ, जब हम छोटे थे तो कोई भी फंक्शन होता था, चाहे वो शादी हो, लोहड़ी हो, दिवाली हो, तो ढोल
Mm.
वाले आते थे.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And those dhol guys used to play one pattern. Dung, kadak, tig, dung, kadak, tig, dung, kadak, tig, dung, kadak, tig, dung. एंड वो पैटर्न, ढोल का पैटर्न बचपन से मैं सुनता आ रहा हूँ. सो दैट वाज अ
Mm.
पार्ट ऑफ माय सबकॉन्शियस मेमोरी ऑफ Delhi म्यूजिक.
Mm.
आई
Mm.
टुक दैट ढोल एंड दैट सैम्पल एंड आई पुट इट ऑन चक दे फट्टे, एंड
Wow.
दैट्स हाउ इट गॉट इट्स आइडेंटिटी. And then it became a dunia utapatanga, kete hatta te kete tanga, rat kukudi dendi banga, ete chakde pate. So
Yes.
that was my introduction to the film industry from where I started.
Wow, wow. What an inspiring story it is. And to all the learners, I want to show you how Dhruv's studio currently looks like. Just give me a second and I'll just show you. I'll share with you a picture of his studio. Uh, yes, so this is how his studio looks like. Dhruv, if you want to say something, explain the learners about the equipments here or something.
Yes, absolutely. So on the big keyboard, the black one on the right is my go-to workstation. It's a Yamaha Motif XF7. It's got a fantastic touch. When you play music on it, अगर आपको sensitive बजाना है, उसके लिए भी अच्छा है. Hard बजाना है, उसके लिए भी अच्छा है. It's actually one of the best keyboards that I have worked on in my life. The keyboards on the right are MIDI controllers. So MIDI controllers होते हैं जिसके पास खुद की साउंड नहीं होती. आपको उसको एक कंप्यूटर से एक सॉफ्टवेयर के साथ हुकअप करना पड़ता है फॉर देयर साउंड प्रोडक्शन. तो उसका खुद की साउंड नहीं है, इट्स जस्ट कीज. आई यूज दैट व्हेन आई वांट टू लेयर माय सॉन्ग इन द सेम ट्रैक. अगर मैं यहाँ पर पियानो बजा रहा हूँ नीचे तो ऊपर मेरे को स्ट्रिंग्स या पैड्स चाहिए, तो उसके लिए मैं यूज करता हूँ. देन इफ यू लुक स्ट्रेट डाउन, between the center monitor and the right monitor, there is a sound card. It's called the Apogee Quartet. I got this from the US. It is extremely, extremely brilliant because when you're making music, your computer has to go through a sound card. The sound card processes the sound and sends it back to the software. So that sound card is actually very, very important. When I started out, I got a Maya sound card, I remember, second hand. और वो भी बार्गेन में, मतलब 8,000 रुपए के पैसे इकट्ठे करके 7,000 में खरीदा था. That was my genesis of my first computer. But this sound card is legendary. You'll be surprised to know that it's more than 15 years old. But it is still the industry champion. Then I am using a Mac Mini M4, but it is a little souped up. तो उसकी memory बढ़ाई है, RAM बढ़ाया है, उसमें एक turbo charge लगा हुआ है, which gives me better speed, better agility and ability to handle my music production. And attached to it is a 4 TB hard disk drive where I store all my sessions and where I store all my music. On top, if you see, is a big screen which I use for when I'm working on a background score. So that becomes the reference point in on top, and my works my the three screens become my workstation screens. तो बीच में मेरा सॉफ्टवेयर होता है, राइट पे मिक्सर होता है, लेफ्ट में मेरे ऑडियो कंट्रोल्स होते हैं, और सामने मूवी चल रही होती है ऊपर. So this is how I compose. My monitors are Yamahas HS10s. They're beautiful monitors, also about 10, 12 years old. They have a fantastic reference. They're near field monitors. You can't make them very loud, and but the clarity is very, very, very apt for me personally, because monitors, speakers के साथ क्या होता है, you have to tune your ear. Everybody has a very different take on how they want their sound to be. I find Yamaha monitors to be very clean, very dry. तो मिक्सिंग में मेरे को थोड़ी आसानी हो जाती है, एक बेसिक मिक्स में, बिकॉज नॉर्मली गाने मिक्स पे जाते हैं, पर एक बेसिक प्रेजेंटेशन मिक्स यहीं से हो जाता है. Then under the keyboard is a box that you see, a black box, that is a subwoofer. That subwoofer is not used too much because there is already a lot of sonic boom coming from my monitors. तो वो subwoofer अभी off है, उसकी जरूरत नहीं पड़ती unless I'm having a big score session where I want the underbelly of the music to be heard. So this is mostly it. It's very clean. It's a very minimalist setup. You don't see any hardboards. You don't see any analog gear because everything happens on the computer now.
Yes, absolutely. And looking very clean and tidy and spick and span also. So, to all the learners, in case you have any questions to ask to Dhruv related to his work, related to the equipments he's using, and you want to create your own music space, and you're looking for someone to answer your queries, please drop in your questions in the Q&A box, and I'll take them up during the session. Okay, so Dhruv, moving ahead, once you entered into the industry, then
Yeah.
what were the early struggles that you had to face to make your mark in the film industry?
तो आरोही, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई डिड नॉट रियलाइज कि जो पहला काम मैंने किया अपनी जिंदगी का, विच वाज घोसला का घोसला, वो
Mm.
इतना बड़ा गाना बन जाएगा। बिकॉज नो बडी नोज, एंड आई कैन से दिस विद ऑल ऑनेस्टी। हम अपने स्टूडियो में बैठ के काम करते हैं, वी होप फॉर द बेस्ट कि यार अच्छा बन जाए, लोगों को पसंद आ जाए, बट ये किसी को नहीं पता होता कि पसंद आएगा या नहीं, चलेगा या नहीं, और अगर चला तो कहाँ तक चलेगा। I was 24 years old when I got Khosla Ka Khosla, or when I had worked on the soundtrack. I had zero experience in Bollywood. ना ही मेरी फैमिली में किसी फिल्म वाले को जानता था, तो it was jumping into a brand new ocean of nothing. Without any experience or knowledge. अब वो गाना जब पिक्चर आई, तो वो गाना हिट हो गया। इट वाज ऑब्वियसली, आई वाज वेरी हैप्पी कि गाना हिट हो गया। बट वो जब गाना हिट हो जाता है ना, देन अ लॉट ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशंस आल्सो कम। बिकॉज देन
Yes,
से, देयर इज
yes.
बॉय फ्रॉम दिल्ली कॉल्ड ध्रुव, एंड उसने बनाया है चक दे फटे।
Mm-hmm.
And everything is very new, and people ask me, yaar, how did you make it? I don't have an answer for it. How did I make it? I was sitting on the piano having fun and it got made. I didn't make it. And let me tell you this honestly, as an artist, and this is for everybody who's listening to me, and I'm saying this out of God's honest truth, इसमें कोई humility नहीं है, ये reality है। जो भी काम आपका क्रिएटिव है, जो भी काम है, whether you're a musician, whether you're an artist, whether you're an actor, director, whether you're a writer, painter, everything comes from the divine powers. Nothing belongs to you. You don't own it. You don't control it. It comes from God. It goes back to God. The minute you realize, the pressure of life reduces. कि यार मैंने किया, मैंने नहीं किया, मेरे साथ हुआ है। भगवान ने चूज किया, गॉड ने चूज किया, यूनिवर्स ने चूज किया, पर मेरे को चूज किया कि यार तू बना देगा ना, आई विल
Mm-hmm.
सेंड यू द पावर्स।
Mm-hmm.
आई डिडंट डू इट। सो इफ somebody asks me कैसे बन गया, the answer is God made me do it, the universe made me do it, because I don't want to take credit for something I'm not capable of doing. I became the instrument, I was not the guy who made it. It came from high above.
Wow, that's so divine and very humble too. So thank you for sharing that. So Dhruv, whenever a script comes to you, now that you've been receiving many scripts, what is the first thing that you look towards? Whether is it the emotion of the movie or the rhythm or the character? I mean, what makes you decide that what kind of music you're going to put in there?
That's a good question, Arohi. The first thing that comes to me when I get a project is the director. I want to meet the director. I want to have a conversation with the director. I want to have dinner with the director to understand what direction of cinema is this guy going to take the film in. What is his style of execution? Where has he come from? उसने कौन सी किताबें पढ़ी हैं, उसने कौन सी दुनिया देखी है, उसकी रीजनिंग समझनी बहुत जरूरी है, बिकॉज ही इज द कैप्टन ऑफ द शिप। He decides where the movie goes. He decides what color the movie belongs to. And while we are talking, there have been so many times, like I was working on Mr. and Mrs. Mahi with Karan, and I was going to meet the director Sharan and Shashank, the creative head for Dharma Productions. And the last thing we spoke about was music. The first 1 hour and 1.5 hours of the meeting was about life. It was about getting एन इनसाइट कि हम कहाँ से क्या सीखते हैं, क्या देखते हैं, क्या एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं। देन वी गॉट अराउंड टू म्यूजिक, एंड दैट इज हाउ म्यूजिक इज एक्चुअली मेड। बट इन टेक्निकल टर्म्स, व्हेन आई सी a movie on screen, I understand. Like I'll give you an example. You cannot make music for a movie like Sarkar if the movie is Ajab Prem Ki Gajab Kahani. It's not the same. So you know that the movie talks to you कि यार थोड़ा डार्क है, थोड़ा इंटेंस है, थोड़ा डीप है, और वो थोड़ा हैप्पी है, थोड़ा फनी है, थोड़ा कॉमिक है। सो दीज आर द एलिमेंट्स दैट योर ब्रेन कैन डिसाइफर कि यार ये इस स्पेस में जाएगा कि इस स्पेस में जाएगा। सो द बेस्ट एडवाइस इज टू वॉच मूवीज एज मच एज यू कैन, ग्लोबल सिनेमा, रीजनल सिनेमा, European cinema, Korean cinema, watch everything. Get an idea of sound, get an idea of scenes, emotions. They'll all become your reference points. It's your library of knowledge.
Yes, yes, absolutely correct. We have been getting questions. Let me start asking them, otherwise they'll keep on piling up.
Yes.
Nitin is asking a question. He says, "Hello, sir. I want to know that what are the best VSTs according to you for synthesizer, piano, and strings?"
Okay, Nitin. So what I use the Logic Pro. That's what I use to compose my music. And I have a list of many VSTs that I installed in it, which is obviously customized. My go-to VST is Atmosphere, Omnisphere, Nexus. Nexus is damn good. I use Contact and I use Massive a lot. Also, there are piano libraries that I use, there are saxophone and guitar libraries that I use. I also use a lot of plugins, which are reverbs, delays, echoes, stutters, you name it. But the go-to library is always Atmosphere, Omnisphere.
Um, okay. Shrikant is asking you, I think it is related to the previous question wherein you were telling how you're making the music. He's asking, how do you compose the background score?
Okay, so that's a good question. What happens is that when a scene comes to me, when a scene, okay, I'll actually share something with you, Arohi. It's a video clip. So there is a video clip of a web series I had done on Geo Hotstar. It's called Hey Junoon. It's a 20 episode long series. Abhishek Sharma directed it. The guy I made, we worked together on Tere Bin Laden. And
Hmm.
it was a scene for Jacqueline Fernandez where she has to go to a wellness center because she has anger issues. So she wants to
Hmm.
go and heal there. So I got a blank canvas of her walking into this wellness center. And instead of making music which sounded like a spa or a wellness center, like bells and the
Hmm.
typical wellness music that we can
Yeah, yeah.
associate with, I came up with a song. I said इसको एक गाना यहाँ पर इस सीन में देते हैं because I wanted to show Jacqueline's internal battle in
Hmm.
versus the atmosphere.
Hmm.
आप तो आए हो वेलनेस सेंटर बट मैं वेलनेस सेंटर का म्यूजिक नहीं दिखाऊंगा मैं आपकी प्रॉब्लम दिखाऊंगा व्हाट आर यू
Hmm.
डीलिंग विद. And that is exactly how I like to approach a scene, whether it is because it's from the character's point of view. So if the character is angry, I will show that. If the character is sad, I will show that. If the larger scene requires something different, then I will show that.
Hmm. Hmm. Right, right. So I think this has been answered. Amit is asking that which is the best DAW considering the arrangements of various portions and their interdependability.
So, Amit, that all depends on what you are most comfortable with. I know a lot of people who use Logic. I use Logic. A lot of people use Cubase. A lot of people use Pro Tools. It depends on you, what is comfortable with you as a music arranger, music producer, music programmer. You have to work on a few softwares to understand this one works for me best. As an artist, you will have to find your own direction with the equipment and your sound.
All right, got it. Uh, Ashay has a question, and I think many of the learners are going to resonate with this one. And this is that when you started creating your music, how did you put yourself out there? Like, all these music composers, if they are going to be future music composers and producers, how are they going to be visible in the creative space?
Right. So that's also a very important question. See, everybody has their own journey, and I cannot tell you कि मेरे रास्ते पे आप चलोगे तो मिल जाएगा या मैं किसी के रास्ते पे जाऊंगा तो हो जाएगा नहीं. बट द बेसिक फंडामेंटल इज कि आप अपना काम करते रहो, हर रोज करो, चाहे जो भी हो, चाहे आप जिंगल्स बनाते हो, चाहे आप टेलीविजन का काम करते हो, चाहे आप ओटीटी का करते हो, बट डू इट एवरी डे. मेक योर क्राफ्ट better. The minute your craft gets better every day, somebody will notice. Whether it is your assistant, whether it is the engineer in the studio, somebody will notice, okay, okay, this guy does good work, and he will tell somebody else. It is all a network. It is all a nexus of people saying, okay, this guy is doing good work, or this guy is doing path breaking work. फिर वो आपको नहीं करने की जरूरत होती, वो अपने आप ही आपकी बात और आपकी आवाज, आपका नाम फैल जाता है. But the idea is, till the time you are not good at your craft. See, in Bombay, I'll tell you, in our industry, na, everybody is good. There is nobody who's bad. Everybody has the knowledge, everybody has the ability, everybody has the experience. But it is only the people who are getting better every day are the ones who are still getting work. It's not an easy industry to crack. There are millions of us, millions.
Hmm.
So I'll give you a
Hmm.
little example. When I got Khosla Ka Ghosla, my producer asked me, "How much money do you want for the film?" And I knew it was a very tricky question at the time. And I
Hmm.
said, मैंने आपसे पैसे की बात तो करी नहीं. So basically saying that I will do it for free. That's why I got
Hmm.
the film. If I had asked for money, there were thousands of people behind me who would have done a better job. So
Hmm.
you have to be a little smart, you have to be a little aware of your surroundings, and you have to get better at your craft. Keep doing good work. आप अपना खुद का काम 1 साल के बाद सुनोगे, आप बोलोगे यार ये मैं क्या बना रहा था. आपकी नॉलेज, आपका एक्सपीरियंस इतना अच्छा हो जाएगा खुद ही. But practice every day. Even today, I come to the studio. The first thing I do, I practice my scales because I don't get to play so much because I'm always composing or writing. I have to practice my scales. Otherwise, my fingers won't move. If the fingers don't
Hmm.
move, how will I perform?
Hmm.
So get better.
Yes.
Get better. If practice 10 hours, 12 hours a day if you have to. You guys are young. हमारे अभी तो आपको responsibilities हैं होंगी जरूर, but it gets crazier with age. It just keeps increasing. If you have the time, don't waste it on other things. Use the energy, practice, get better.
Yeah. Very, very rightly put, Dhruv. So, out of just curiosity, Dhruv, how many hours or days or months do you take to create one song?
So, Arohi, it's like I said, it all comes from high above. कभी कभी गाना 10 मिनट में बन जाता है.
Hmm.
चकदे फट्टे 2 घंटे में बन गया था with my director sitting in my house in Delhi. और कभी कभी हफ्ते लग जाते हैं और गाना नहीं समझ में आता या बनता नहीं है या स्ट्रक्चर नहीं रेडी होता. बट जो चीज सबसे पहले बन जाए इंस्टिंक्टिवली वही करेक्ट होती है.
Right,
जिस पे
right.
आपको ज्यादा ध्यान देना पड़े या जिस पे आप बार बार वापस जाके ठीक कर रहे हो, दैट्स probably नॉट वर्किंग इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस. If it's
Hmm.
working in its rawness, it'll work when it's refined also. Like Chak De Phatte was working in its melody also. I didn't have to put any music to it. So, as an idea, if the idea is correct, if the idea you can add drums to it, you can add bass to it, you can do whatever you want to with it. It'll work. But if the idea is not correct, even Sonu Nigam can't help it.
Yes, absolutely correct. Okay, we have a very interesting question by Christina, and the question is that what are movie background scores different from the OTT series or television series? Could you share some primary elements that influence the creation process of also these two platforms, which is different, maybe?
Right. So, Christina, good question. The only thing is that my first background for a film was Oy Lucky Lucky Oy. एंड अगेन आई हैड नो एक्सपीरियंस. मेरे को जो समझ में आया मैंने बना दिया, जैसा लगा बना दिया. आई वॉजंट फॉलोइंग द बैकग्राउंड रूल्स. उस टाइम पे सिम्फनीज लोग रिकॉर्ड करते थे, वायलेंस आते थे, सब कुछ होता था. मैंने तो एक छोटे से कीबोर्ड में बैकग्राउंड बना दिया. माई डायरेक्टर लाइक्ड इट एंड दैट वाज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर मी. In fact, that got me a nomination for IFA for Best Background Score for Oy Lucky for a comedy film, which was very strange. The OTT at that time was not there. It did not exist. So OTT के साथ क्या हुआ है ना, it's because you're showing a larger canvas के एपिसोड्स चल रहे हैं, 10, 8, 12 जितने भी एपिसोड्स हैं, तो 2-3 घंटे लगते हैं. उसमें क्या होता है दैट आपको अपनी स्टोरी टेलिंग के लिए थोड़ा सा ईज मिल जाता है. You become a little more relaxed with your point of views. That's why you see in OTT shows, you will see scenes are longer. The
Hmm.
pauses, the pauses are longer.
Hmm.
Because the story has to stretch across many episodes. Movies में ऐसा नहीं होता. Movies में the storytelling is now about an hour and a half at the most. And ads में तो और भी कम होता है. वो तो आपको 1 मिनट के अंदर अपनी सारी बात बतानी होती है. So ads, OTTs and films, they all follow very different formats of how to approach a piece of scene in terms of music. But the sound design and the ideas are the same. Nothing changes on that. Nothing changes. Like what I can compose for an OTT show should be also okay for a film.
Hmm. So I hope, Christina, your question is answered. And we have a question by Mr. SM, and he says that, "Hello, sir. I'd like to ask you that how to make an original score or an instrumental score stand out, especially in an era when we are also consuming a lot of content and mistakenly we take it as an inspiration or accidentally copy it from earlier works. So what's your suggestion on
Well,
that?"
I'm sorry, who asked me this question?
Someone by the name of SM.
SM, let me congratulate you on that question. It's a brilliant question. I love a question like this. It's something which is very close to my heart. So what happens is, I'll tell you something. I learned this after many, many years, that why does a music score stand out? And why does a music score does not need visual support? कि अगर आप फिल्म में ना भी डालो फिर भी वो पीस इतना अच्छा है कि सुनने का मन करता है. इसका आंसर है मेरे गुरु. द गॉड ऑफ म्यूजिक फॉर मी इज हैंस जिमर. That's who all I listen to. I attend all his concerts wherever he performs. I have seen him live twice, once in London, once in Abu Dhabi. He is exceptional. And when he plays Dark Knight, he plays Gladiator, he plays Time from Inception, he plays Interstellar. It just blows you away. Absolutely incredible. But then I realized the trick, that he gives you music for a scene which does not need a scene. It's almost like a theme which you will remember irrespective of the scene or the movie. Like if you remember Gladiator, I wish I could play it for you. Actually, yeah, just give me a second. SM, you got me a little excited on this, so you have to bear with me now.
We are more than happy to listen to you.
I When a question like this comes up, I have to do this. Sorry, is that okay? Just give me a minute.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. Okay, there we go. So I have the piano set. And I don't know if you guys can see this right here. So I'm going to play one of my favorite themes from Hans Zimmer. It's called the Gladiator. So it goes like,
Not able to hear you, Dhruv.
sorry, can you hear me now?
No, still not able to hear you.
Okay, you can't hear me. Okay, I don't know why that is, because it's playing through my monitors. Anyway. So my point is, SM, listen to Hans Zimmer, listen to Gladiator, listen to Time, listen to Interstellar, and see what he's done. And the answer to your question also technically is that he makes it very simple. It is so simple that you cannot escape it. And to create simple things is very, very difficult.
Yes, absolutely
Yeah.
correct.
You have to be very confident and you have to be very aware of your craft to come up with something simple. It's almost like Happy Birthday or Do Re Mi, and it sticks. It is so simple. The more complicated it is, the more people will not care about it. That is that is the essence of composing good background score. Keep it simple. Keep the melody simple. Keep the structure simple.
Yeah, point to be noted. I think, thank you for that piece of advice, Dhruv. Uh, Amit is asking a question that is it the melody which comes first, or the rhythm, or the groove?
There is no rule for this, Amit. Anything can come anytime. Inspiration will hit with a bass. Inspiration can hit from a piano. It can hit from a line of a lyric. It can come from just playing the piano and just coming up with something. So don't follow a pattern to it. It's
Mm.
basically it's an ocean. Just any direction that you go is water.
Okay. All right, there's another interesting question by Balvinder, and he says that, "Sir, how could I keep my project interesting? I get bored from my own project after listening to it repeatedly, and then I reject it on my own."
Okay, so that happens to all of us, no matter what kind of work we're doing, but it happens to every artist. The idea is to, don't listen to it too much. Don't get attached to it. Don't get attached to your own music. You've composed something, you've done something, fine. Listen to it for a bit, listen to it in your car or whatever. Move on to the next one. You get bored because you're probably spending too much time with it. Don't do that. Don't do that. The more you expand your mind, the better your music will sound.
Right. Great. So, moving ahead, Dhruv, what are the upcoming projects that you are working on? If you could just tell us something about that.
Yes, yes, Arvi. I wish I could name them, but unfortunately, I've signed NDAs with all of them, so
I can understand.
I
Yeah.
can't name the projects, but I can tell you something very exciting is coming up with John, and it's a sound design that I am personally very excited about. My favorite genre of music is British rock. So, music from Pink Floyd, music from Simon Garfunkel, music from AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, these Beatles. This is what I love to create today. And, there had a very particular raw sound from the late 1960s, early 70s. एक rawness था. The music was not perfect, the singing was not perfect, but there was a lot of attitude and mood to it. There was a lot of emotion. Like अगर आप आज भी Pink Floyd का Wish You Were Here सुनो, which David Gilmour played on an acoustic guitar, it sounds heavenly. In spite of the technology today that we have, one acoustic guitar, one piano, little small drum, that's all we need. So I am actually getting a chance to recreate that sound for John. And there has been a lot of back and forth कि यार इसको कैसे execute करें without it sounding technologically advanced. Because technology उस time पे थी नहीं. और अब हम technology को use कर रहे हैं to show that it's without technology. So it's actually a catch 22. And then there is a sequel coming up from a very, very famous movie of mine. Again, I wish I could tell you which one, but this work under progress at the moment. आपको पता चल जाएगा जल्द.
All right. All right. So we are waiting for it anxiously.
Yes.
Okay, so Nitin has a question that, sir, who is your audio engineer or you mix and master your own tracks yourself?
ओके सो बेसिकली क्या होता है जब मैंने रांझना बनाया था फॉर करण तो रांझना में करण वांटेड फॉर मिस्टर मिसेस माही सो करण जौहर वांटेड दैट सॉन्ग एज अ बेसिक मिक्स फॉर हिमसेल्फ कि ही सेड ध्रुव आई एम गोइंग टू गो फ्रॉम माय हाउस टू द ऑफिस एंड आई जस्ट वांट टू हियर इट इन द कार व्हाट इज इट दैट इट इज साउंडिंग लाइक देन वील गो फॉर द फाइनल उस केस में मैंने उसको मिक्स करके अपने स्टूडियो से दिया था because I knew that he would like it a little bassy, a little warm. He would like it a little more open, more rounded. So I gave him a mix specifically for Karan. इवन फॉर बैकग्राउंड स्कोर्स मैं बेसिक मिक्स कर देता हूँ बट मेरे को पता है कि वो मिक्सिंग के बाद प्रॉपर स्टूडियो तो जाएगा ही जाएगा सो लेवल्स अफेक्ट्स कोरस रिवर्ब कंप्रेसर्स ये सब मैं लगा देता हूँ पहले बेसिक लेवल पे उसके बाद उसी को एनहांस कर देते हैं बाद में जाके तो एक बेसिक इंजीनियरिंग क्वालिटी आप में होनी चाहिए लाइक रांझना वाज मिक्स बाय एरिक पिल्लाई एरिक पिल्लाई इज द स्टैंडर्ड ऑडियो इंजीनियर फॉर द फिल्म इंडस्ट्री everybody wants to work with Eric everybody. And if you listen to Ranjana, the way he's mixed it, especially the last part, you will
Hmm.
see how beautiful it sounds with what he's done. He's taken simple drums, he's made them into rock ballet drums from the 80s. There were two girls who were singing the harmonies. It sounds like we had 200 girls. He's done such a fantastic job.
Wow, great. Okay, so before we move further with the conversation with Dhruv, I would quickly want to share this with all of you that in case you are interested to learn more about music production, composition, etc., we at AAFT Online do have a program which is a 6 months course in how to create music. And we have this program recorded by Mr. Nikhil Berry and Ricky Cage, who are Grammy Award winners themselves. So, in case you have any questions or queries and you want to learn more about what are you going to learn from these courses, please drop in your questions to this email ID, or you can call us at this number and we'll be happy to get in touch with you and explain you the details for this course. And we also have Mr. Dhruv also, who is associated with us. So, yes, you would be seeing many more such faces with us. So, continuing our conversation, Dhruv, there is this question by, Vinay, who has asked you humbly, it's a request. I humbly request your guidance. I am a new songwriter. How should I approach the Bollywood industry? I'm
Hmm.
capable of writing songs for every situation and emotion. I request you to kindly answer in Hindi.
आप आप बोल रहे हो आप राइटर हो, आप लिरिसिस्ट हो। तो मैं आपको एडवाइस करूंगा कि आप अपने गाने सिर्फ फिल्म इंडस्ट्री के लिए मत सीमित रखिए। आप उन सारे म्यूजिशियंस और आर्टिस्ट से मिलिए जो अपना म्यूजिक स्पॉटिफाई या किसी भी स्ट्रीमिंग प्लेटफॉर्म पे डालते हैं। आप देखो, बॉलीवुड में क्या होता है ना कि एक ग्रुप बन जाता है कि ये म्यूजिक कंपोजर है, ये सिंगर है, ये राइटर है, ये प्रोड्यूसर है। तो वो एक गैंग उनका जब बन जाता है ना, तो एक एक बीच में एक फ्रेंडशिप और एक बॉन्ड सा बन जाता है। तो वो एक कंफर्ट जोन भी है। जैसे मेरे पास कुछ राइटर्स हैं, जैसे देवेंद्र काफिर साहब है जिन्होंने मिस्टर कपूर एंड सन्स के लिए लिखा था। उनको मैं तब मिला था तो मैंने उनको बोला कि अब कोई पंजाबी गाना आएगा आप मेरे लिए लिखना। उन्होंने रांझना लिखा फिर मेरे लिए। और ऐसे ही करते करते मैंने जयदीप साहनी के साथ काम किया जिन्होंने मायरी लिखा है यूफोरिया के लिए। फिर उन्होंने चक दे फट्टे भी लिखा। फिर उन्होंने खोसला घोसला की कहानी भी लिखी। तो होता क्या है ना कि आप अपनी आइडेंटिटी सिर्फ फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में मत ढूंढिए।
Hmm.
जरूरी नहीं है अब आज के जमाने में कि फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में ही सक्सेस है। कितने सारे ऐसे आर्टिस्ट हैं जो अपना काम करते हैं और फिल्म इंडस्ट्री उनको हायर करती है कि हमारे लिए
Hmm.
गाना बना दीजिए या हमारे लिए गाना लिख दीजिए। तो आपके
Hmm.
पास बहुत सारे एवेन्यूज हैं। आप अपनी लिखावट पोइट्री में पेश कर सकते हैं। आप अपना यूट्यूब चैनल पे पोइट्री कर सकते हैं, पीछे म्यूजिक लगा दीजिए, पर अपनी बात कर दी कह दीजिए एज अ राइटर। तो आपको जरूरी नहीं है कि फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में एक गाना है लिखना है किसी फिल्म के लिए। वो हो जाएगा अगर आपका काम यूट्यूब पे या स्पॉटिफाई पे पॉपुलर हो गया या इंस्टाग्राम पे हो गया। तो मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि आप सिर्फ फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में ढूंढिए। अब तो बहुत एवेन्यूज हैं। अगर मेरे पास इस टाइम पे एवेन्यूज वैसे ही होते जब मैं छोटा था या जब मैं स्टार्ट कर रहा था, तो मैं सब कुछ करता। जरूरी नहीं है कि फिल्म इंडस्ट्री एंड गेम है। एंड गेम नहीं है। इनफैक्ट फिल्म इंडस्ट्री से लोग अब बाहर जाके काम कर रहे हैं।
Yes, yes, absolutely. सो टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस ध्रुव, एक होता है क्रिएटिव आपका जो इंस्टिंक्ट है, एंड एक होता है आपको जो डेडलाइन मिली है बाय अ प्रोड्यूसर और अ डायरेक्टर। तो हाउ डू यू मैच दीज टू? समटाइम्स द डेडलाइंस आर वेरी स्कैरी व्हेन इट कम्स टू द क्रिएटिव थिंग। सो कैसे, हाउ डू यू मेक दैट बैलेंस?
उसके लिए थोड़ी सी प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ती है रोही। सो व्हेन यू कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट योर क्राफ्ट ना, तो आपको पता है कि
हम्म.
मैं स्टूडियो जाऊंगा आज, 1-2 घंटे बैठूंगा तो एक आइडिया तो शायद निकल आएगा। वो
हम्म.
आइडिया निकलता है बिकॉज यू हैव प्रॉब्ली सैट ऑन योर मशीन विद योर इक्विपमेंट फॉर मेनी 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 ईयर्स। तो एक थोड़ी सी अंडरस्टैंडिंग आपकी म्यूजिकली आ जाती है। जरूरी नहीं है कि वो काम करेगी, पर आपको ये पता है कि आप कुछ ना कुछ तो बना लोगे। बाकी के
हम्म.
इनपुट्स आपको डायरेक्टर से मिल जाएंगे या आपकी क्रिएटिव टीम से मिल जाएगी कि सर इसको ऐसे करके देखें या उसको वहां लेके जाके देखें, तो उससे भी फर्क पड़ जाता है। बट आई थिंक इट्स मोर लाइक हाउ एन एथलीट इज व्हेन यू आस्क हिम टू रन ही कैन रन बिकॉज ही इज बीन प्रैक्टिसिंग रनिंग। आई थिंक इट्स द
Yes.
सेम थिंग।
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And what are the mistakes that you see the beginners making? Because यहाँ पे mostly we have beginners, who are trying to make their career here. तो क्या common mistakes ऐसी होती हैं जो beginners करते हैं, and how to, correct it?
कोई मिस्टेक्स नहीं होती यार भाई, देर ऑल लर्निंग स्टेप्स। ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं है जो आप बोलो यार ये मैंने गलत कर दिया, क्योंकि जो आपने गलत आपको लगता है आपने किया है वही आपको सिखाएगा कि आपको क्या बेटर करना है। तो देर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड अ मिस्टेक इन लाइफ। वी आर ऑल लर्निंग, वेदर इट्स म्यूजिक, वेदर इट इज म्यूजिक फिलोसफी और वेदर इट इज लाइफ। हम सब रोज सुबह उठ के कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा करते हैं जो हमको नहीं करना चाहिए, ऐसा गलती से हो गया। पर वो गलती नहीं होती, आपको पता नहीं था कि क्या करना है। तो डोंट बी सो हार्ड ऑन योर सेल्फ। ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। आपने जो किया उस पॉइंट से, उस टाइम पे अपने हिसाब से किया, आपको लगा ठीक है, आपने कर दिया। आप बाद में देखोगे कि यार हो सकता है कि मैं इसको बेटर कर सकता था। उससे सीखिए और आगे बढ़िए।
Right, right. That was an
वेदर इट इज,
interesting tip.
यस, वेदर इट इज मीटिंग पीपल और, बट आई टेल यू वन थिंग, बॉटम लाइन अभी भी मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, देर
Hmm.
इज नो मैजिक टू म्यूजिक। इट्स ट्रीट इट लाइक अ साइंस। ट्रीट इट लाइक ट्रीट इट लाइक मैथमेटिक्स। द मोर यू प्रैक्टिस द बेटर यू गेट। दैट्स
And
ऑल
how
इट
do
इज।
you stay motivated, Dhruv? I mean, I am sure there must be highs and lows, ups and downs. What keeps you motivated throughout?
The fact that I don't care about success, failure, Bollywood, or anything else. I only care about music. I'm still that 10-year-old kid who loves playing the piano because it made him happy. It's
Hmm.
not, my goal was not Bollywood. My goal was not awards. My goal was not Karan Johar movie. My goal was music. I didn't care कि वो म्यूजिक कहाँ लेके जाएगा, वो तो म्यूजिक ही लेके गया ना जहां भी लेके गया.
Yes.
So my the motivation, it's actually, if it see, it's like it makes my soul happy. मेरे को मजा आता है पियानो बजा के, मैं वो ही करता हूँ. अब आपको मेरे साथ मजा आ रहा है तो वेरी गुड, अगर नहीं आ रहा तो वेरी गुड ऑल्सो, आई डोंट केयर.
Hmm. Hmm.
That is what it is. You have to basically scale it down to its bottom truth. That what is, are you excited, are you happy, is this the life you want, that is
Hmm.
is this what you want to do for the rest of your life, if money and success was not in question.
Yes. But having said that, Dhruv, money does matter.
That's why there are very few artists left, because अगर आपने वो practically सोचा तो
Hmm.
ना तो आप जीनियस बनोगे, ना,
Hmm.
ना और ना आप प्रैक्टिकल बनोगे.
Uh.
So we all have to die, Arohi. I would rather die a happy man in my with my piano than a sad
Hmm.
man as a banker.
Yeah, well said. Well said
Yeah,
that. Okay, Jonathan says that he's a drummer and can he be a music producer as well?
absolutely, Jonathan. As long as you understand, because you're a drummer, so your sense of rhythm will be fantastic. Use that to your advantage. Make songs which are rhythm based. Come up with different time signatures. Change time signatures within a song. That's very exciting. I love how people go from 4/4 to 3/4. It's incredible, but make sure you know how to use the bass. The bass and the drums for me are the most purest form of music expression. What the bass and drums can do, that's amazing. All the music, Michael Jackson, that's all he did, bass and drums.
Hmm.
So use your rhythm knowledge and compose and produce good music.
Okay, so all the best, Jonathan, for that. Antariksh is asking that, hi, sir, how was your experience at Musicians Institute in the USA? Do you recommend that to someone as a beginner?
100%. I was the best experience of my life. That college was open 24 hours a day. I could finish my classes at 4 in the evening, come back home, maybe take a break, have a coffee, finish my dinner, go back and practice all night. And it was crowded, it was packed. मतलब वहां पर सुबह के 4 बजे या शाम के पता ही नहीं चलता था. इतने सारे लोग घूम रहे हैं कॉरिडोर्स में. सारे म्यूजिक क्लासेस ओपन है, पियानोज, गिटार्स, कोई गाना गा रहा है, कोई ड्रम्स बजा रहा है. इट वाज लाइक अ कार्निवल. It was the best year of my life. I would 100% recommend it.
Yes. Okay, Gaurang is asking that, sir, as an experienced producer for Bollywood, what would be your advice, be it the most important aspect in making a background score or a score for a movie?
Okay, Gaurav, the most important aspect of scoring is story. Understand your story. Okay, वो मूवी बता बोलना क्या चाहती है. What is your point of view? What is the point of view of that cinema, like Dhurandhar today? Why is the music appreciated? Because it is at par with the movie screenplay. It is at par with the movie trying to portray what it's showing to you. It is as grungy, as raw, as masculine, as savage as the movie. That's why the music is good. So the movie and the music have to be telling the same story. लाइक
Hmm.
आप डार्क नाइट देखो, हैंसमा का डार्क नाइट देखो दोबारा जाके. 2008 में आई थी क्रिस्टोफर नोलन की. एंड रिमेंबर द जोकर थीम व्हेन द जोकर केम.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, remember that cello that was coming and it was sounded like a wire that was twisting
Yeah.
but would not snap.
Hmm.
That is called telling music through a story. So please concentrate on the story and then take it forward. Then you can surprise your director, you can surprise your team, but the story is your main weapon of choice.
Hmm. Right. And Dhruv, how important do you think is networking when it comes to creating music or making your own mark in the music industry? Do you think networking also plays a role here?
So, Irohi, it is important, but I am the happiest when I'm sitting in my studio alone and working. So when people I have to go meet people, socialize, go to parties, मेरे को थोड़ा सा मजा नहीं आता क्योंकि थोड़ा मेरे को लगता है कि बात करने के लिए तो आप कर लेते हो, बट
Hmm.
कभी भी किसी भी पार्टी पे काम नहीं मिलता। आपको
Hmm.
कभी भी किसी पार्टी पे काम नहीं मिलेगा। पीपल जो लोग पार्टीज पे आए हैं वो अपनी नेटवर्किंग के लिए भी आए हैं, तो वो आपको काम
Hmm.
क्यों देंगे? काम
Hmm.
मिलता है आपके काम से। चाहे आप
Hmm.
किसी पार्टी पे जाइए, नेटवर्किंग करिए। नेटवर्किंग, यस, इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू नो योर टीम, दैट टुमारो इफ अ गुड प्रोजेक्ट कम्स टू यू। एक अगर आपको आज डायरेक्टर का फोन आ गया आज कि आई वांट यू टू कंपोज माय म्यूजिक, क्या करोगे? सो बी रेडी
Hmm.
फॉर विद योर टीम, बी रेडी विद योर टैलेंट, बी रेडी विद योर नॉलेज, but don't depend on people or networks or parties. Network का मतलब है I know my music producers, I know my lyricists, I know my singers, I know my writers, I know the team that will help me to come up with better music, my assistants. That is my network. And the
Hmm.
network of people I want to work with, my directors and the producers, or people I really admire. Like I really admire Abhishek Sharma after Tere Bin
Hmm.
Laden. I really admire Aditya Dhar after Dhurandhar, and even Uri. I really admire Jaideep Sahani because he wrote Chakte India, he wrote Company, and he wrote
Hmm.
Khosla Ghosla. So there are people who I admire personally कि इनके साथ काम करना है यार, ये बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं, इनसे मेरे को कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा, मेरा काम बेटर हो जाएगा उनकी वजह से। That
Hmm.
for me is a more important network than attending frivolous parties.
Hmm. Right, right. And you also think that, restricting yourself in a particular genre also, doesn't help you maybe get more movies or get more projects. If you're restricted to a particular genre, one has to be open to everything to grow, in this space.
One should be open to everything now, Arohi, because the world has become very open. Kids who are listening to Pritam is also they're also listening to Taylor Swift. They're also
Mm,
listening to Blackpink. My daughter is 10 years old. She's introducing me to Blackpink. And she took me, I took her for a concert to London last year for Taylor Swift. I loved it personally. I thought उसको तो मजे आ ही रहे हैं, मेरे को भी आ रहे हैं, because it was a new experience. Because I
yeah.
grew up on Bon Jovi, I grew up on Guns N' Roses, I grew up on, all these rock bands. And then
Mm,
suddenly I'm introduced to Taylor Swift, and I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And it's always, always important. See, it's like knowledge. जितनी आपकी knowledge ज़्यादा होगी, उतनी आपके काम करने की ability better होगी. It's very simple. कि
mm,
अगर आपको हिंदी म्यूजिक बनाना आता है, मैं तो इंग्लिश म्यूजिक सीखने गया था ना अमेरिका। आई वॉज
mm,
लर्निंग वेस्टर्न कॉम्पोजिशन।
mm,
Here I am doing a Punjabi song for Khosla ka Ghosla. So,
yeah.
you have to understand that A,
Yeah.
music is universal. अगर आप उसी कैलाश खेर को हटा दो और आप किसी अमेरिकन सिंगर को ले आओ, it'll sound like an English song.
Mm,
If you put a Tamil singer in it, it'll sound like a Tamil song. So music is just add-ons. So there is no such thing. You should understand how music is made universally. Like
mm,
I said today, if all these kids, all these people who are watching or listening to this should understand that आज अगर आपको एक डायरेक्टर मिल गया या प्रोड्यूसर मिल गया जिसने आपको बोला कि okay, come on, let's work on a film together. Are you prepared? Are you ready? That is the question you have to answer.
right. And do you recommend them to create few maybe songs so that they are ready with something like this and
Yes. Yes, they call demos. When I'm not working or I don't have a film or there is a gap between two projects, I come to the studio and I come up with demos. जो भी मन में आता है मैं बनाता हूँ
mm,
और अपने iTunes में स्टोर कर लेता हूँ फॉर फ्यूचर रेफरेंस। कौन सी चीज़
mm,
कहाँ लग जाएगी, कौन सी चीज़ अच्छी लगेगी नहीं लगेगी, बाद में देखेंगे। अभी मूड है, बना दो, बना के रख लो। So keep
right.
like I said, keep making. It doesn't have to be good, bad, ugly. Art is not judged. There is no bad art. Art is art. Who's
Mm,
judging it, and why are we scared of somebody else's opinion? कौन है वो जिनसे आपको डर लग रहा है? रिजेक्शन हो
mm,
जाएगा, कौन रिजेक्ट करेगा आपको? काम नहीं मिलेगा, ये नहीं होगा, वो नहीं होगा, ये सब बात की बातें हैं, आप अपना काम तो करो।
mm.
And I'll tell you
So,
something, the hard truth of life
yeah.
of an artist. Sorry, Arohi, I'm cutting you.
No, no.
A lot of legends. जितने भी हम बड़े बड़े नाम सुनते हैं, राइट फ्रॉम बेथोवन टू मोजार्ट, फ्रॉम
Hmm.
दैट टाइम all those guys got legendary fame after they died.
Hmm.
Even Picasso, the greatest artist on this face of the earth, was recognized
Yes.
after his death.
Yes.
तो
Yes.
अगर आप दुनिया से कुछ एक्सपेक्ट करते हो कि वैलिडेट कर दो, नहीं होगा। और वो वैलिडेशन की आपको जरूरत भी नहीं है, आप अपने आप को वैलिडेट करो ना। आप दुनिया से क्यों वैलिडेशन ढूंढ रहे हो? Who cares if you don't like, if you like my music or you don't like my music? I like it. That's it.
Yeah. So I think that that speaks a lot about how contented you are and how satisfied you are.
Because I have seen success and I have also seen failure, Arohi.
Mhm.
Success, आपको लगता है कि मेरे को success चाहिए. I'll tell you, I got these two awards. Let me show it to you. If you can see them on the wall. You see those two awards behind me?
Yes, yes, we
So I
can.
got them
Yes.
for Ranjana for Best Music Composer and Best Music Programmer.
Hmm.
And I used to wonder, यार मेरे को ना, I want to be on stage to receive awards. I want to
Hmm.
feel that feeling. अब मिल गए ना, तो ऐसा लग रहा था कि वो 2 मिनट अच्छा लगा। अब
Yeah.
आप एंड यू बैक टू द लाइफ दैट यू वर लिविंग, तो स्टूडियो आओ, काम करो, उसमें ज्यादा मजा है।
And do
सो
you think these awards add on to the pressure, build on to the pressure that that you create music, better music?
no, no,
No?
no, because like I said, I mean, you have to be a little detached from the material world. It is
Hmm.
not important. I used to be scared of failure and I used to be very envy or enamored by success. मैंने
Hmm.
बहुत फेलियर देखा है अपनी लाइफ में, उससे डर निकल गया फेलियर का। कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या होएगा, काम नहीं मिलेगा, वापस चले जाएंगे यार, कुछ और कर लेंगे, क्या हो गया, ट्राई तो किया, मजा तो
Hmm.
आया, कुछ तो कर लेंगे। अब इतना एक्सपीरियंस है, मे बी आई कैन टीच चिल्ड्रन, मे बी आई कैन डू समथिंग एल्स, मे बी आई कैन गो टू slums and start teaching children music there. It doesn't
Hmm.
have to be a very linear life. It doesn't have to be the film industry. It doesn't have to be a film with a director and producer and actor. No, life is very
Hmm.
big. It's supposed to be lived in all its dimensions. कुछ भी हो सकता है, कल हो सकता है कि ना हो मेरे पास काम, क्या हो जाएगा, नो नो बिग डील। क्या,
Hmm.
व्हाट इज द बिग डील? मैंने ट्राई किया ना, आई गेव इट अ शॉट। सी, इट हैज टू एंड समडे एनीवे। आई एम नॉट हियर फॉर एवर। कभी ना कभी
Hmm.
तो ये रुकेगा कारवां। जो भी है, तो जब भी रुकेगा रुक जाएगा, क्या हो गया, डरने की क्या बात है? तो सक्सेस और फेलियर्स का कोई, इट्स ओनली एन ईगो एंड अ माइंडसेट। इट्स नॉट, इट डजंट एग्जिस्ट इन रियलिटी। इट्स हाउ यू परसीव इट।
Yeah, but it's commendable the mindset that you have, Dhruv, I must say. People take ages to, get into this kind of a mindset that you have. So hats off to you for
It
that.
doesn't, I'm not saying it's because of this. मेरे को भी बहुत टाइम लगा और एक्सपीरियंस लगा। I had to sit with my fears, I had to sit with my losses, I cried my tears also. और जब सक्सेस मिला तो लगा कि ऐसी कोई बात थी नहीं, इतना कुछ बिग डील नहीं है जितना हमको लग रहा था। इट्स लाइक ऑल योर लाइफ यू वांट टू बाय अ गुड कार, एंड व्हेन यू बाय अ गुड कार यू थिंक यार ओके, इट्स जस्ट अ कार। वही है। इट्स जस्ट क्या कहते हैं, इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल एज दे कॉल इट।
Yeah.
मिल गया तो कम है।
Yeah. So thank you, Dhruv, so much. But before we end the session, I would request you to play something for all of us, if that is possible.
ओके, बट वो पियानो की आवाज नहीं आ रही थी आपको?
Maybe we can try something again.
कैन यू हियर इट नाउ?
Yeah. Can you play it again? No, not able to hear it.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can do something on the guitar now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a very good guitarist, so please don't mind, okay? Okay, what would you like to listen to?
Anything which you want. We are all
Okay.
ears.
So this is Ranjana from Mr. and Mrs. Mahi, which is currently the talk of the town, this song. Kavita Seth sang it. I really, really like her voice. This is what I had composed for Mr. and Mrs. Mahi. नैना बिच पाके नैना रखा सारी रात, सारी उम्र मैं जागा जे तू होवे साथ, दूर नहीं हूं होण देना, नहीं हूं दूर होना मैं, 100 साल चलनी साडी प्यार वाली बात तेरे रंग रंग यार रंजना मिले तू मंगया राज तेरे रंग रंग यार रंजना मिले तू मंगया रांझना थैंक यू
Wow, that was fabulous. Thank you so much, Dhruv, for that. And to all the learners, thank you so much for joining in. And thank you, Dhruv, for taking out time for us. This
Also,
was
sorry, Arohi. I'm sorry to interrupt. Uh, a lot of people on Instagram and Facebook they message me that, sir, can you please listen to our song and can you please listen to our lyrics and can we would love to work with you and everything. I find it very sweet. Thank you so much for the honor that you think I'm good enough for that. But can I please tell you guys that this is not the actual way of getting work. आपको नहीं मिलेगा ऐसे काम. Even if I send a message to a director say I love your work, I would love to work with you, he won't work with me. It's just how everybody is wired or busy in the world that we are in. What you should do is you should come to Bombay, take out 5 months, 6 months, meet people, meet sound engineers from studios. उनसे दोस्ती करिए. कम से कम 15 20 25 स्टूडियोज में जाइए, उनसे उनसे मिलिए. बोलिए सर ये मेरा गाना है, मैं सिंगर हूँ, मैं राइटर हूँ, मैं ये हूँ, मैं आपसे मिलना चाहता हूँ. वो आपको मना नहीं करेगा. उसके साथ आधा घंटा बैठिए, कोई ना कोई आपको कहीं ना कहीं तो मिल ही जाएगा. और तब तक अपना इंस्टाग्राम और यूट्यूब एक्टिव रखिए. उस पे लिखते रहिए, बोलते रहिए, गाते रहिए.
right, right. Thank you for that piece of advice, Dhruv. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
And thank you everyone for joining in. I will leave you once again with our number and our email ID in case you want to learn more about how music is being composed and produced. Please feel free to get in touch with us. We'll be happy to connect with you and tell you a lot more about the course that we offer. And thank you, Dhruv. Thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you. We had a lovely conversation, and I personally learned a lot from you.
Thank you so much, Aravi. It was a great opportunity. I was very excited for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.